Hey there, and welcome back to another Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating breakdown of Dr. David Yonggi Cho's teachings on God's economic blueprint, but we're going to do it with a bold, playful twist. I want you to think of me as your energetic playground quizmaster today. We're going to explore 4 timeless business models straight out of biblical texts, but we're looking at them through the colorful, interactive lens of a children's storybook. So go ahead and grab a seat on the swings, get ready to play along, and let's jump right into this divine map to success. All right, let's kick things right off with our very first pop quiz of the day. What do a bicycle, a smart brain, and a cup of lemonade all have in common? Think about it for a second. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to shout out your best guess. Ready? 3, 2, 1. You got your answer? Well, if you guessed that they are secret keys to the ultimate treasure map, you nailed it. The source material we're exploring today proposes a pretty incredible idea. The Bible isn't just a spiritual book for Sundays. It's actually a completely practical economic blueprint. It outlines 4 foundational businesses that, supposedly, never fail, no matter what happens in the world around us. And to really grasp them, we're going to turn these massive concepts into simple, everyday social hacks that even a beginner or a kid could master. So let's start right at the beginning. Welcome to Level 1, the Lemonade Stand Secret. Before we get to the heavy reading, it's time for another interactive pop quiz. And I want you to answer this one in your absolute silliest, most cartoonish voice. Ready? Why did the kid with only 1 lemonade flavor cry when it rained? Take a second to guess the punchline. Because he put all his lemons in one basket. Get it? But jokes aside, this perfectly captures a very real principle from Ecclesiastes 11:2, which actually says to divide your portion to 7 or 8, because you never know what disaster might happen on the earth. The source emphasizes that relying on just one source of income, or, one flavor of lemonade, leaves you totally exposed when the literal or financial storms roll in. So what's the solution? The speaker points directly to the Proverbs 31 woman as the ultimate example. I mean, she was trading, she was planting, making clothes, importing goods. That is 4 distinct businesses in one single chapter. For a beginner or a kid on the playground, that looks like mixing your lemonade sales with dog walking, toy trading, and maybe some lawn mowing. You use your different unique talents to build multiple streams of income. That way, if one slows down, the others just keep right on flowing. Moving right along, here is Level 2, the playground property game. Now, putting on my mentor hat for a second, the source defines this concept beautifully using the story of Abraham in Genesis. God essentially promises him the land as far as his eyes can see. Putting that into our playground terms, real estate is simply securing the absolute best spot in the sandbox and holding on to it for the future. The speaker notes that in Scripture, land is never just dirt. It's a fixed, divine canvas meant for building a lasting legacy. And here is the absolutely crucial point. Cars rust, right? Toys break, but land lasts forever. The text points out that land is literally the only asset that was never manufactured by man. It came directly from God. So whether we're talking about a giant commercial farm or just a small residential plot, the speaker highly encourages everyone to just start somewhere. Securing your spot in the sandbox is a timeless foundation for wealth that will always outlast any shiny new toy. Okay, that brings us to Level 3, the Smart Cookie Academy. This one is all about the knowledge economy. Step 1, learn a talent, like reading. Step 2, use that talent to solve a problem, like helping a friend study. And Step 3, earn a reward. The speaker bases this entire model on Proverbs 4:7, which states that wisdom is the principal thing. It's a beautifully simple social hack. If you learn something valuable, you can use it to help others, and that help literally becomes your business. As the quote goes, the world will pay you for what you know, not just what you do. The speaker really stresses this. If you've learned a hard lesson, if you've overcome a massive problem or mastered a skill, say you're a teacher of 20 years or a mom who successfully raised 4 kids, you already carry a highly profitable product right inside your brain. You don't need a factory. Your knowledge is a currency that simply never depreciates. Let's physically shift gears into Level 4, the business of bicycles. Yep, it is time for another guessing game. I'm putting my Quizmaster hat right back on. Here is your biblical trivia question for the day. How exactly did Joseph save his whole family from famine in the book of Genesis? Go ahead and shout it out at the screen. I'm listening. If you said, with a whole bunch of moving carts from Egypt, You are absolutely right. The source material highlights Genesis 45 to show us that transportation was the key to saving Joseph's family. The underlying golden principle here is that movement creates access, access creates opportunity, and opportunity creates provision. So think about that bicycle sitting in your driveway. The speaker challenges us to reframe how we see it. It isn't just a toy, it's a delivery service. A car isn't just a ride, it can be a mobile tutoring station or a rideshare business. In the kingdom economy, the text explains that stagnation equals scarcity, but movement equals multiplication. You've got to take whatever tools of motion you have and put them to work. All right, players, we've successfully reached the boss stage, dodging the mud puddles. Now, the source has a serious warning. Before you go out and build these amazing businesses, you have to watch out for 4 spiritual landmines, or let's call them giant mud puddles, that will totally sabotage your success from the inside out. Mud puddle number 1 is uncontrolled debt. Carrying a heavy backpack of debt means you're slaving to the lender. It makes you anxious and reactive. Instead, God blesses the light steps of freedom that come with being a proactive steward and saving up for what you want. Mud puddle number 2 is laziness. The sleeping sloth dreams all day without actually doing anything. And Proverbs 13 warns that they will crave and get absolutely nothing. On the other hand, the busy beaver knows that God gives us ideas, not instant overnight success. Faith without works is dead. So you might start out messy, but the key is to start now. The final 2 landmines are entirely about the condition of your heart. James 4 warns against having wrong motives, like building a business just to show off your new toys on the playground. We need the right motives, building businesses to genuinely help and bless other people. And finally, Proverbs 11 teaches that hoarding your toys and keeping every single thing to yourself dries up your provision. Giving freely and sowing into other people's lives is what creates a clean, open path for God's flow to return to you. And that brings us to our final section, the Daily Habit Challenge. To really master God's economic blueprint, the text explains that prosperity always begins with daily discipline. So here is your everyday coaching checklist. Number 1, do your chores with a smile. That builds your work ethic for those multiple streams of income. Number 2, read a book to learn a new skill. Welcome to the Smart Cookie Academy. Number 3, save a little bit of your allowance. That's how you eventually secure your spot in the sandbox without relying on debt. And number 4, give a portion away to help someone else. That keeps the river of provision flowing. I love this quote from C.S. Lewis, who wisely noted, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream." And looking at this blueprint, I'll add, you are absolutely never too young either. It is literally never too early and definitely never too late to start aligning your small, daily habits with these timeless divine strategies. So I'm going to leave you today with one final provocative challenge. I dare you to take what you've learned here, go find a friend, and ask them a guessing game. What are the 4 golden rules of the playground? See if they know anything about the lemonade streams, the sandbox real estate, the Smart Cookie Academy, or the bicycle delivery service. Go teach them what you've learned. Thank you so much for joining me on this fun, animated journey through the source material today. Keep playing, keep learning, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.